Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of This Is Me Attitude Podcast with your one and only host, me, Rachel Hills, just a 20-year-old something girl, trying to figure this crazy life out and bringing you along the ride. So let's get into another episode. As you can probably see by the title of this episode, we are talking all about enjoying the process and how that looks for you, me, and everybody, and how it can be different. And as you can probably tell by other episodes, I like to do things in steps or talk to you about different steps you can take that I've taken that have helped me. So I'm going to list 4 different steps. Yes, I know, I added another one. If you've listened to other podcasts, I usually only do 3. And I started out doing 3 for this one, but then I realized there was a 4th one that is very, very important to me and I wanted to share. And when I say talk about the process or enjoying the process, oh my gosh, this has been talked about so much, and you're probably thinking, great, she's talking about another one. Like, I've heard this. Everybody on podcast talks about this. Blah, 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 blah. Well, yes, that's true. Enjoying the process of life. Enjoying the process of working hard and, like, going through those hard days at work and, like, oh, the things that you want to give up on. But, like, oh, remember, looking back, you're going to enjoy the process. Oh, before hearing that term, I just wanted to, like, cringe. I'm like, yuck. I will not. I want to just get to the end point. Like in college when people are like, oh yeah, you're going to miss it. You're going to enjoy the process. I'm like, yeah, no. I want to get that degree and get out. Well, now that I'm taking a moment to breathe in the process of being an entrepreneur and doing my own podcast, like just in that process, I've really enjoyed every minute of it. Yes, there's some terrifying parts, and yes, there's some times where I just don't want to record an episode maybe, or do this or do that about it. But throughout it all, I've had some really awesome ways of enjoying legit just the process of becoming a podcaster, of becoming an entrepreneur. So let's jump into the 4 steps that I've done that I think will help you. All right, as usual, I'm going to list the steps and then we're going to go back and explain and talk all about them. So, starting with number 1, knowing that right now isn't the end and being more than okay with that. Number 2, slowly giving up on being a perfectionist. Number 3, enjoy the ups and downs regardless of what others think. Big key there. And number 4, my process of enjoying the process of enjoying this life is completely different than anybody else's. Even if we're going through the same angle, or we're going towards the same angle, it's going to be completely different. Now, my favorite part, explaining them to you and why they mean so much to me and why they freaking work for me. So, number 1, knowing that right now isn't the end and being okay with that. And number 2, with slowly giving up on a perfectionist, they kind of roll into together as one big one, but are also kind of separate. Let's see. Knowing that it's not the end and being okay with it has definitely been something that I've had to work on, because having a quote-unquote perfectionist mind most of the time, I want to be like, oh, well, tomorrow's going to be the end and I have to figure it all out right now and it's not perfect. Redo. No, it's not. Knowing that it's not the end means that you can make mistakes, that I am okay with making mistakes with doing this recording. A lot of times on here, I have to cancel the recording I had and redo it. Like, that's normal. Or like a lot of other things. That's why pencils have erasers. You can erase the mistake. That's a very old thing to say, but it just popped into my head and had to say it. And the slowly giving up on being a perfectionist, me doing this podcast is me saying, heck with being a perfectionist and full on with the dreams, and we're just going to start where I'm at and just go for it. Because if you just don't go for it sometimes, it's never going to happen. And clearly, as you can see in here, as I take an awkward pause, I am not perfect at being a podcaster yet. Nor will I probably ever be, but I will get better at it. This is only my 11th episode. I'm not expecting myself to be like a Grammy winner award for this. I just want to show, or to give my opinion on different things, and maybe it will help, and the things I've gone through, maybe it'll help you, and maybe we can relate. So that's 1 and 2 kind of wrapped up into one bigger one. Number 3, enjoy the ups, downs, regardless of what others think. So to take being a podcaster as an example, the fact that I call myself a podcaster is a huge win for me and a huge up, because when I first started this, or when I first had the idea of having my own podcast, I was like, oh, great, we're going to record, going to put it up on the internet and let all the people I don't know listen and not tell a soul. Great idea. Well, that doesn't do anything. So that was the down for me, is like actually going out and telling people, and like hearing some people that I thought would really like the idea, not like the idea, or like in my head, I was like, yeah, everybody's going to love it. And then not as many did, or, oh my gosh, all of them are going to hate it. And then they all loved it. Like, it's different things like that. And with ups and downs, balancing them out. Don't let your highs be so high to where you plummet down to your downs, which that is more a bigger topic for a different day, but it's still within the same thing. So enjoy the ups and downs. Even if it's a failure now, that means that you tried. That means that it wasn't meant for right now. At least you tried for the thing. So for number 4, the biggest one of the day. My process is different than everyone else. This podcast overall is called This Is Me Attitude, because I'm showing who I truly am through and through. So my process of getting to the end goal of being the woman I want to be the partner I want to be in any relationship I have, if it's romantic or not, or a family member, like, or with family or with friends or whatever, it's going to be completely different than the next person. And you enjoying the process of getting that college degree, or getting that promotion at work, or becoming the best entrepreneur that you can, is going to be completely different than the next person. And I've had a hard time realizing that lately, and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to put it on here, because you might be doing the same exact thing, but your process and your thinking is completely different. We were made completely different than other people for a reason. And enjoy it. Enjoy being completely different. Enjoy the process of like, oh, I had this major up, but that wasn't that big of an up to you, but my down was like a lot downer than your down, and like, we're both awesome, because we are. And your process is nothing like anybody else's. And that is such a cool experience, because if you're listening to this, you can take some of my things and say, oh, that little thing is like me, I'm going to take that and go work with it this way. And then you're going to share with somebody else, and then they're going to take a tiny bit of that and a little bit of yours and go a completely different way. And that is the most exciting part. That is why I'm here. I want to show what I've done, so you can take a tiny part and be like, yes, I'm going to go do that goal. I'm going to go do that race. I'm going to go do whatever the heck I want, and be awesome at it, and enjoy the freaking process, even if I suck in the beginning. Because that's part of it. And I've learned that a lot lately, that we're not perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. But life's a lot more fun if you enjoy the ups and the downs and the not perfect, and the just going for it and just being happy, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, be happy now, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's next. And I'm going to leave you with that. Yahoo! Another episode in the books. Thank you so much for coming by and listening to yet another episode. It means the absolute freaking world to me that you're here and want to listen to more. And with that, if this episode was your jam, if it resonated with you, if you want to hear more like this, please tag me over at This Is Me Attitude Podcast on Instagram and let me know what you think, because I want to know if the things I'm talking about are really working, are really what you want to hear. And if it is, I would love to create more like this, and just to connect with you and to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day, because I all know that we all have lives that don't revolve around just sitting on our phones. And again, thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next episode.